And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth. Sitting around real estate, credit, finance, business advice, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our goals are to entertain, enlighten, engage, and help you live a better life no matter what you're facing out there.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, I want you to pull out your smartphone, save our Consumer Advocate hotline in your phone, because at some point you're going to need it. 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894.
Baby, don't forget my number.
Don't forget our number. We want you to also bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. Consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors. You can see our expert contributors, our live stream as well, the cameras in studio, and all of our Intelligent Talk Radio guests that we have. And let's go around the horn now. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We want to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. And first up this week is going to be Dustin Matthews. He's the founder of Speaking Empire. Welcome in, sir.
Brandon, excited. I'm pumped to be here, and I'm looking forward to have a lot of fun.
That's right. That's right. We're going to educate our listeners out there, talk about some speaking, talk about ways that marketers can amplify their message, and a lot more.
That's right. We got a good show today.
Loving it, loving it. Also in studio, back in studio, Mr. Bob Brumm, The Positive Perspective. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. Today, I just want to remind people with a positive perspective that we're people first, so we'll be going over some topics about that. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's right, yeah. No matter what business you're in, the first business is the people business.
You got it.
Absolutely. This segment is brought to you by Back in Health Massage. Big shout out to Michael Vogt with Back in Health Massage, helping people with neck, back, shoulder, hip, and leg pain feel better. Located at 3750 Gun Highway, suite number 106 in Tampa. Voted top 10 massage services in Tampa Bay by the readers of the Tampa Bay Business Journal's Best in the Biz Awards is Michael Vogt, expert massage therapist here in Tampa Bay. Also, a big shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Big shout out to the Maids. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed to the Maids. They are referred for a reason. And let's go ahead and I'm the owner of Platinum MVP Realty as well. I've got two hot listings for this segment that I want to let you know about. 8156 Causeway Boulevard South in St. Petersburg, basically Treasure Island, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, over 125 feet of water frontage on the Boca Ciega Bay. Beautiful buying opportunity here, $646,000 for 8156 Causeway Boulevard South in St. Petersburg. And another $1 million listing here with Platinum MVP Realty. I've got 18003 Cozumel Isle Drive in Tampa. Quarry Lake Isles, 5 bedrooms, 4-bath, $1.999 million. Great buying opportunity, 3,690 square feet. And it's a very modern, chic design, 24-inch custom glass tiles throughout. 18003 Cozumel Isle Drive. Great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this great content. Dustin Matthews, thanks for coming in today. And Speaking Empire, you guys are doing great things over there, man.
I love it, but I first got to say, I mean, this is awesome. And we're on Facebook Live. We got the phone going here, and I love it because we're traditional media. We got new media here. I'm hoping to get you those houses sold through Facebook Live here. Wouldn't that be awesome, right?
That'd be great. Love it.
Well, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm pumped to be here. I think a lot of people think about Speaking Empire, and a lot of people, they would rather die than actually speak, according to the stats out there. And
That's
so people are deathly afraid. And I was that way too. When I first got started, I actually was the guy that actually found a loophole to get out of public speaking, and now I run a company that shows people how to speak to get business.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. You guys are doing a great job. You and Dave over there, Dave Van Hoos, and just watching the growth over the years as well, man. I'm proud of you guys doing a great job representing St. Petersburg, Florida here.
Yeah,
in the house.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're a speaker too. Does your audience know that?
Yeah, I love it. You know, we're getting more and more into it, and I'm just real excited about the growth. And you know, my mentor Tony Robbins going to Business Mastery and all of his different events, and you know, Bob is helping me out a lot as well, kind of coaching me as well. So real excited, man. A lot of good stuff.
I got to say you're a man of leverage because you know the big concept with speaking is the idea of one to many, and so you're here on the radio. We've got Facebook Live rocking as well, and speaking is that art form as well. It's one to many. So why sell? We say why sell one to one when you can sell one to many, and so
That's right.
You're a leveraged man.
Yeah, and you know, we love that. We take that into our real estate business as well. You know, with Homes and Land Magazine and some of our listings, we're doing the traditional print advertising, but we're also pitching our listings on air, letting our listeners know about it first, right when they hit the market. So it's a very unique model, and we're looking forward to growing Platinum MVP Realty, franchising or licensing that into other markets as well.
Yeah, like what got you? You know, I know you're supposed to be asking me questions here, but I'm personally excited. So, what got you deciding to like leverage all this media to grow your business? Like, I mean, what was that point where you're like, okay, I got to do a radio show or I got to get out and speak?
Yeah, you know, modeling an expert, right? Tony Robbins, one of his top rules is model an expert, model what you're seeing working out there. So that's where, you know, I kind of said, hey, you know, and then also with the mortgage meltdown, you know, kind of when the show came into effect. I saw a lot of people losing their houses, a lot of, you know, so I felt a moral obligation to give back. You know, kind of like Mel Gibson in the movie The Patriot, where he grabs that flag and he's running up the hill. You know, that's us here with the Quarterback Show. We want to help our listeners out there and our viewers of our TV show component, and we want to help you live a better life. And we've got over 80 show partners now between the two brands to help our listeners. So it's all about giving back, Dustin.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's funny. The reason why I asked that question is the pain. You know, like where did the pain, you know, that propelled you forward? And you know, a lot of people don't get to hear what goes on behind the scenes. But before we got started with the show, we were talking about Bob was talking about Simon Sinek and the power of why. And so, you know, there's no shortage, obviously, of options to go to real estate, although this is Brandon's show, you need to go to him. But the reality is there are other folks out there, and so it's hard to determine who's your guy, who's your gal, and so it's that why. It's the person that puts themselves out there, shares the story, and really is vulnerable and connects with their audience, and that's how people are buying nowadays, I found.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, each person's going to have a different preference, you know, female, male, different types of strategies, different types of personalities, and that's important. Just find who resonates with you, who you feel is going to be, you know, a good agent for you, and it's going to help you win no matter what you're looking at doing. If you just joined us, you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. In studio, we're talking with Dustin Matthews here. He's the founder of the Speaking Empire. So let's talk about amplifying your message.
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe everyone has a message, and I know people that are listening to this are outside of business, and I believe everyone has a book inside them. I believe they have a message that they want to share, and maybe they're early on in their career and they don't know that they want to share it yet, but I think it's in all of us, like we want to leave something to our kids. We want to leave a legacy. We want to leave the world a better place than we found it. And most people I talk with, that's what they want to do. And so it's a matter of how do you find that message that's inside, and then how do you position it? So obviously you're in real estate, so like you have your stories growing up playing QB, you know, playing at USF, and so you know, for a lot of obviously males and the females out there too, you know, we can resonate, you know, if we're into sports and football, and so that instantly attracts us. And so like your message is already inside of you. It's like, how do you bridge it now to real estate? How do you bridge it to something that serves you? And it may be business, or it may just be motivating your kids to take the trash out or whatever it is. But really, it's like, how do you find that message? And then, you know, if you're in business or if you want to share it in a big way, how do you amplify it? And it's funny because we're here, you know, at iHeartRadio, and we're sharing it over the airwaves. We're sharing it on Facebook Live, and that's what the essence of Amplify is.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And you've got a big event coming up soon. You're putting on next month, early next month, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's called the Amplify Experience. We're super pumped about it. You're going to be there. We got Bob's going to be there, and anyone else that would love to join us, you can check us out on amplifyexperience.com. It's right in the heart of downtown St. Pete, which I love. And if you want to swing by Brandon's $1 million listing down there, Treasure Island's not too far away. And we're really excited because we have Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank that's going to be there sharing how he took one of his ideas, his message, put it on a napkin, and really blasted out to the world via infomercials, another strategy, and we'll be sharing that. So excited.
Love it, love it. Great lineup, though, coming up, and lots of positive momentum, positive things happening here in Tampa Bay and around the show. And, you know, maybe specifically as well, talking about brand response marketing, you know, coming up in the next segment. We'll talk about that. And also, Mark Spence came in. We're going to talk with Mark. check in, kind of see what's going on with the marketplace. I know the Federal Reserve is talking about raising rates. I know a lot of our listeners are heavy into real estate, heavy into the stock market and bonds. So Mark's going to give us an update on things happening there with the Fed. Also, we're going to hear from Bob Brumm, positive perspective and business coach as well, coaching. Helping me speak with the speaking events and things of that nature, and more from Dustin Matthews here on the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Real excited about the positive momentum that we have here, things happening in the marketplace. And got an event coming up. When is that event again?
October 21st through the 23rd. It's a nice weekend event. You put the kids, get a sitter, come down to the show and work on your business, work on your message.
Love it, love it. A lot of connections to be made there as well. And this segment is brought to you by Hula Bay, the official restaurant partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Say hello to Mike Finnegan over at Hula Bay, located on Tyson down in South Tampa. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you for a free water with lemon. He always takes care of our listeners, and he does a great job. Waterfront dining, awesome sushi, excellent food and service. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Brandon Rhymes, your host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Featured in Florida Realtor Magazine. I'm a top listing agent. Most recently, last week, called by Top Agent Magazine, doing a feature story as well. And real excited about the marketplace. If you're a seller out there thinking about selling your real estate property, we would love to talk to you. there is a severe lack of inventory in the market. So we'd love to reach out. We'll do a free comparable market analysis for you, help you with the value. Find out, you want to know as a homeowner what's going on in your neighborhood. What's the amount of short sales? What's the foreclosure activity in your immediate neighborhood? And we'll help you find that. So all you have to do is give us a call at 813-917-1894. That's our hotline, 813-917-1894.
Welcome to my
All right, we're back here in studio live from iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa, Florida here. Every Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's your most important hour on the radio. Also have a weekend show on FM on 102.5 The Bone. And we want to help you win. All of our shows are streamed live over the internet as well at WeBeam TV or from our website, consumerqb.com. And I've got a couple of hot listings here, compliments of Platinum MVP Realty. I got 700 St. Petersburg Drive West in Oldsmar. This is a great property. It's a corner lot commercial building, only $295,000. Any business owners out there wanting to relocate, 700 St. Petersburg Drive West in Oldsmar. And also Beach Park Beauty here. I've got 414 South Royal Palm Way in Tampa. 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath, 2 half bath, over 4,800 square foot. And it's got a huge backyard, estate-style home with a large pool. It's actually going to be featured on a major network next month, coming up on a nationally televised TV show as well. I've got a couple of my listings featured on this show. Very excited about the things happening in beautiful Tampa Bay.
somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, we're back here in studio, Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks in studio with me. We're talking with Dustin Matthews. He's the founder of Speaking Empire. We're also going to hear from Mark Spence. He's the VP of Integrity Financial Services, and Bob Brumm as well, the Positive Perspective speaker, encouragement author, and engineer as well, encouragement engineer. And holding this up here, if you're watching our stream, former USF football player, played on the inaugural team back in the day. Celebrating 20 years of USF football. So, every time I say that, I'm thinking, wow, 20 years since those good old days at USF. And
You've grown out of your jersey, it looks like.
Exactly. But, yeah, so I know you're a big Seminole fan, Dustin.
Yeah, we got a big game this weekend. We had a big loss. We definitely took one, and so we're looking for the rebound win to get back on top.
Yeah.
I know you may find trouble with that statement.
That's all right. Hey, it's all about competition.
Man, you guys play hard. Like I remember you watching the game before.
Yep.
You guys messed us up, and we were on a run, and you messed us up. And so USF is dangerous. They're tricky.
Yeah, that was 4 or 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I think that might have been the year or the year after that we were ranked number 2.
Yes,
in the United States.
And you jumped. I remember you jumped big time for that. I'm like, oh man, we can get this win, and like that would ratchet us up even further, and it didn't happen.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, let's talk a little bit back to business here, talking about how folks can amplify their message and brand response marketing and creating irresistible offers. I love that stuff. You guys are cutting edge with these marketing strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the big thing, here's what I found. Like I got started in this whole business world with direct response. And for those of you that don't know direct response, that basically is you spend $1, whether you put a sign on your car, you buy a radio ad, or you invest in direct mail or whatever, right? And you're hoping to get back that $2. You're hoping to get back that money as quick as possible. So that's like direct response. And so I grew up with that, like having to hold every dollar accountable, growing my own business, spending other people's money and helping them. And then, so I thought that was the only way. Like, I just thought like that was the only way. But then like you take a look at a Nike, right? You take a look at Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and like they're smart. Like they've been around for 100+ years. And so they leverage branding. And the challenge is most businesses don't have a Nike-sized budget to do it. However, there is a benefit. Just look at your show, the Consumer Quarterback Show. Like you're building a name for yourself. You're building a name for yourself. So you're building a brand, whether or not you're doing it on purpose. And that's what most people don't realize is whatever you put out there, however you carry yourself, that is your brand. And so I say take control of that and tell the world how you want to be perceived out there. And then finally, the last big thing, which is why I'm super pumped to be here, is this PR.
Yeah.
And so when you do press releases, when you do events, when you do radio, when you get interviews, you show up in magazines, right? Like you got a big feature coming up.
Top agent.
Yeah, top agent, right? All of that adds to the mix. So there's not just one way. When you combine all three of those, that really takes you to the top, not only in your marketplace, but in business around the world. So you need direct response, you need branding, and you need PR really to play the game at the highest level.
Yeah, absolutely. Any PR companies out there, I'm actually interviewing right now. Anybody that's listening to this, and if you know a great PR person, I'd love to talk to them and I'm interviewing right now. So that's something that I self-recognize where, you do a SWOT analysis, right?
Yeah.
What's our strengths? What's our weaknesses? What's our opportunities and threats? And that's an area that I'm definitely underperforming in is the PR side. So I'd love to talk to anyone out there that's listening. Give me a call. Hotline is 813-917-1894 in the PR space. We'd love to talk to you. So let's go ahead and bring Mark Spence into the conversation. And Mark, interesting, talking about branding, talking about marketing. I know you guys are doing a lot of marketing with integrity, and what's resonated with you so far?
Yeah, I mean, the mortgage industry is an interesting time right now, especially with the Fed meeting and the bond market moving and the stock market moving so drastically lately.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are on the fence wondering, what am I going to do? What should I do? Where are rates going?
Yep.
Is the Fed going to raise rates? Are they not? What's going to happen with the election? I mean, there's just so many things right now in the near future here that are going to be happening that are going to affect our market.
Yeah.
So the mortgage industry, is kind of in a standstill right now. The products are great. There's some awesome products that are coming to market, but interest rates are moving up, and they hit lows, and now everybody's kind of gotten, I think, complacent, like, well, rates are going to be low forever, and they're not. Yep. And now you got people losing out on interest rates, and they've gone up on them, and I don't know if they're going to come back. So if you're on the fence, if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to refinance, this is the time to do it. And I know we've said that before, but it really is the time. The Fed is going to move rates, and they're going to do it soon.
Yeah, interesting story. Jerry Slutsky, our estate planning partner, sent me. He always sends me a weekly update, but it says roller coaster week leaves stocks higher. Investors hardly bided their time waiting for next week's Federal Reserve interest rate decision. Last week, the full of dramatic ups and downs. Friday, the S&P 500 closed at 2139, gaining 0.53% in 5 days. So some very small incremental moves. And so really, and it also talks about gasoline futures jumped 7.4%. So interesting. It's an interesting climate. But what we do know is that time is against people out there. Right now, the rates are at 30 to 40, 50-year lows. The pricing index as well in Tampa Bay, prices of homes are only going to increase as well, Mark.
Yeah, and they're really increasing every day. And like you said earlier, inventory is way down. Mm-hmm. So, buying and that whole, that whole thing about, supply and demand is really skewed right now. So if you have a property that you're interested in, you can't go in and make a low ball offer. You're not going to have any shot. I mean, people are paying above market. The appraisals are coming in, values are there, and interest rates are low. So it's great if you can get into a property and start building wealth today.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, we kind of fall into the mind trap of when we talk about real estate in general. Typically, people will think, okay, single family homes. Mm-hmm. But I know you work with a lot with investors over there. Talk about duplexes and some of these alternative assets.
Yeah, we definitely do a lot of investor deals, and people don't think about you can do an FHA loan on a fourplex, on a four family home, and get a 3.5% down 30-year fixed rate mortgage on a fourplex, and occupy one unit, rent out the other three.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a huge opportunity for people that are wanting to maybe get into the investing side, but also want to take it slow and be able to live in something and almost manage it that way. I mean, people don't think about that, but you can do an FHA loan that way.
And then couldn't you keep that property for 2 or 3 years and then do it again?
And then do it again.
Now
exactly.
You got 7
I mean,
units
it's a big difference. It really is. And again, you just have to understand, talk to your mortgage person, explain what you're wanting to do. People are afraid to tell people what they're trying to really achieve, and they feel like, oh, I don't want to tell someone. You got to talk to your, specific mortgage person, explain what you're looking for, what you're trying to achieve with your investing, and then evaluate the options that are out there. And with rates being so low, I mean, its buying power is huge. With rates going up over the next 6 months, 50 basis points, that could be another $60,000 in buying power that people will not qualify for.
Yeah, absolutely. And also write it down in your journal. As you wake in the morning, as you go to bed at night, write it down. See it in your mind's eye as if it's already happened. Maybe it's a 3-year project for you. Maybe it's 6 months down the line. But as long as you are making a conscious effort to, put these goals in your subconscious mind and you're working toward it. I remember when we interviewed Grant Cardone. He said he used to write down he wanted X amount of apartment complexes, and he would go and look at the apartment complexes, and he knew he couldn't buy them yet, but he would go with the realtors and look at the apartment complexes, and then that's what's going to get you in a position. Your mind is going to start feeding, and then all of a sudden you're going to have calls come out of the blue, or you're going to get an email that comes through and says, wow, here's a great investment opportunity. Maybe I'll combine, some of the money over here, and I'll put this with another friend, and we'll form an LLC, and we'll go and buy that apartment complex. Now you've got 40 units or 100 units, and you're able to leverage the power of, not only the low rates, but also the passive income. Somewhat passive. You ask any landlord, they'll say it's not very passive, but yeah, it
but
is.
I think that's important because people don't realize with all the baby boomers and everything that are coming to Florida, they're always going to want to be in Florida. Everybody wants to be in Florida.
Absolutely.
But the thing about it is the IRA. You can buy it in your IRA and use that money.
Let's talk about that when we come back. More from our experts here in studio. We're going to talk about IRA investing through as well. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
Ever need a doctor after hours? Well, searching won't help. But what do? You could go to the urgent care or ER, but if only there was a better way. Introducing the MNO Plus card. No waiting rooms, no copay, no consultation fee, giving you 24/7 access to a doctor by phone or online. It's easy to get started with affordable plans starting at $15 a month for a family of 5. For more information, visit mnoplus.com today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex. Short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty, published author, professional speaker as well. Holding up our book for our viewers out there. This is our Consumer Advocate Playbook that we put together. Tom Hopkins wrote the foreword of it, as well as Chris Brogan with Owner Media Group. but we'd love to get you a copy of this as well. You can download it off of Amazon. And we're back here in studio live from iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa. Couple of hot listings. This one's back on the market. Any developers, builders, investors, especially for an assisted living facility, I think would be great on this property. 7504 Gardner Road in Tampa. This is a $1.27 million opportunity. It's over 27 acres at 7504 Gardner Road. There's actually 3 parcels of land, but it's a beautiful buying opportunity. You could build an assisted living facility at this place and invest in Tampa Bay. It's just south of Citrus Park Mall, located conveniently in the middle of Tampa Bay on Gardner Road in Tampa, as well as a single-family home out here in East County. It's 5722 Tanagerside Road, Parkside Village, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, in Fishhawk. Great opportunity here, $450,000 buying opportunity, pool, and some really awesome. It's a salt pool with some awesome amenities at it. So for this or any of your real estate questions, comments, concerns, go to consumerqb.com or give us a call on our hotline. It's 813-917-1894. That's our hotline, 917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
All right, we love to see the hotline bling, so we want you blinging our hotline out there. Give us a call, text, shoot a text over. We'd love to help you. So, Mark, let's go back to that idea that we were talking about of investing in real estate and the ways that you can not only leverage the low rates, the affordability of Tampa Bay and Florida, the absence of a state income tax. The pros go on and on. And let's talk about IRAs as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that we look at it as everyone wants to be in Florida, and they always will do that. So that's always going to drive your values and your market up. Even in downturns, it will always come back.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when you have baby boomers and people up north that are coming, and they have got all this IRA, 401k money that they've built for 30 or 40 years with their jobs, now they go, what do I do with this money? I mean, I'm getting out of my 401k. I got to put it into an IRA. But yet they can't really tap into that income. It just sits there. So now with being able to maybe say, hey, let's put 20% down. Let's buy a multifamily investment property. Let's take that money and use it in an IRA, and it still stays tax deferred.
Right.
But now you occupy a property, all the rents can go back into the IRA, can actually pay the debt service down. And over the next 20 years of your retirement, you have an income on a monthly basis and eventually a huge equity piece of a property that you could sell.
And you delay
you're delaying
all
all
those
the
tax
taxes.
payments. Yeah.
And I mean, I just don't think people understand even how to do it.
Right.
And there's not a lot of people out there that even know how to do it right. And so, we have a partner that does it. So, I mean, I've learned a lot even myself. But even people like myself that are young that want to start buying other real estate, but you don't want to always have that tax capital gains every year.
Right.
Use your 401k from your income from your job that you had previous. That's now you can make it work, and you can start taking that percentage on a monthly basis and really capitalize on it.
Mark, you and Integrity Financial Services, Tony Paredes, you have a strong affinity towards our veterans, as do I. A lot of, my father was in the military, MP, uncles, aunts, cousins, so many people, and we all do. And so let's spend the next couple minutes talking about veterans, because I just feel like it's an underutilized program, 100%
really
financing available.
It's the only program out there that a borrower can go in and buy a home really up to $417,000 with no money down, but you could buy something up to $1 million with less than 5% down.
Wow.
And get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage with no points. If you're disabled by at least 10% disablement with the VA, you have no funding fee. It's all waived and paid by the government.
Wow.
There is nothing. One thing I'll tell you, the government did something right when they did a VA loan for veterans. That's the best thing they've ever done for veterans.
Yep.
Veterans don't know about it, though. They don't take advantage of it. They've heard, I have my eligibility, but I've never really looked into it.
Yep.
It is definitely something that you, as a real estate partner, someone as a mortgage person like myself, we always want to know if you're a veteran, because if you are, there's so many advantages to the program. And obviously with us, we give back to veterans, so we charge no lender fees, nothing on our loans for veterans. We try to give back to them to say thank you for what you've done, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
That's right.
So, that's a huge thing that people need to know about and learn about, because you can get so much more buying power on a piece of property using your VA eligibility.
Yep.
I mean, the lowest rate out there over any other product by far, and you can get the least money out of pocket on that type of product than any other product.
Yeah, you can leverage a $500,000 asset with zero money out of pocket, essentially.
Wow.
I mean, and I have veterans that are buying properties in 2 years. As soon as their capital gains is up, they sell it. They make $100,000. They take it, and they didn't put any money out of pocket. They made $100,000.
Right.
I mean, they're just buying a primary residence. They live in it. They live in it for 2 years. They sell it, make their equity because the Florida market's moving great.
Yep.
And then they turn around, they buy another one with zero money out of pocket, and they wait another 2 years, and then they make more money. I mean, it's an unbelievable opportunity.
You know, let's face it, there's so many geopolitical stories out there, things happening in the news, this nauseating 24/7 media cycle that we live in. And, you know, there's that economy out there, and then there's the economy between your own ears. So if you have an uncle and an aunt, you know, someone in your family that has a need for a VA loan, we would urge you to please be brave enough, you know, be bold enough to step out. Call them, give them a call, say, hey, I heard this radio show, the real estate quarterback, talking about, you know, how he can help you. They may not even know about it. They may still have a little PSTD, you know, all these different things that could affect them. But we want to help you live a better life. That's what makes us different from all these other shows out there. You know, I don't want to be just another disconnected talking head regurgitating some opinion that you find on MSNBC, CNBC, Fox, all these shows. But we want to help you live a better life. That's the big difference between our show. And we've got over 80 show partners. We want you to think of this show as the hub of your financial wheel. Each spoke extending out, representing another one of our over 80 show partners. Everything from health to real estate to credit improvement. We've got it covered, and we want to help you no matter what you're facing. So, yeah, Mark, some great points there. I wanted to get Dustin's perspective on the real estate market. I know he has a background in real estate as well, going back to the Foreclosures Daily days.
Yeah, well, I'm buying. Two things. What's interesting is we're looking at an office building. Unfortunately, I say it's in Largo, and the reason why I say that is I've moved down to downtown St. Pete. I absolutely love it. I call it the bubble because I can walk everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I may have to give up the office, and then I'll still live downtown, but I'll have to give up my bubble and walking to the office. So we're looking at a commercial building in Largo, and then also too, I'm working on a rehab myself for my house. And so I'm super pumped about the marketplace. It was incredibly easy to get financing for us, and I think people should do it. A lot of people don't know I have a background in real estate, and everything that Mark said is spot on. And a lot of people just have fear or just don't know, and so you got to talk. You got to talk to guys like Mark to explain, what it is that you can do, what's possible.
And we want to be your resource, and we want to facilitate these introductions to the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region. So we're going to go ahead and bring Mr. Bob Brumm into the conversation, the positive perspective. Some good stuff happening out there, isn't it?
Hey, it is, Brandon. Hey, appreciate you being here. And it's interesting you guys bring this all up because we got to remember we're people first. And as people, we're going to have fears. We're going to have anxiety. We're going to be inundated with that negativity in those news networks you mentioned. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to combat that inundation of that negative news and that negative information into our head because it needs to be put out of our head.
Yeah.
You've maybe heard the term GIGO, garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
What we're putting into our mind constantly isn't always a good thing. If we're listening to these daily grinds of disaster and terror and everything like that, I'm not saying we don't need to be informed, but we need to be able to wash our mind. If we take a bath or a shower daily, that doesn't last every day. We take another one the next day and another one the next day. We need to do the same thing with what we're putting into our mind, what we're putting our focus on, so we don't have those fears, so we can step forward in going after some of these things, asking these people, what can I do as a veteran to buy these homes? What type of rates, what type of benefits do I have? To get education. Dustin's program offers some great education. We're going to see some real good information there, Brandon. Yeah. Talk to you. What's out there? What's available for consumers? Ask the question. Be bold to ask that question. Don't listen to all the negativity that we have in our market all the time. It doesn't do us a lot of good.
Yeah, turn off the news, especially before bedtime. That's one of the most important times, isn't it, Bob? Before bedtime and then first thing in the morning when you're programming your subconscious mind.
Take that quiet time in the morning. Get up 15, 20 minutes earlier if you need to and focus on what you want to do. Like Brandon mentioned, write down your goals, look at your aspirations, do your prayers, do your meditations, do what you need to do to focus on what you can achieve for the day, because that's going to set your day pattern off right.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, man. And so, Bob, I know you're speaking to groups as well and going out and talking with business owners, and you kind of have that IT twist as well, talking about organizations, how they can, work together.
Right, and that's what I do is I bridge that gap between multiple departments in organizations, and I help to look at that fear of that communication gap that may be there. People don't understand what IT organizations do. IT doesn't understand businesses or the business consumer. How do those two work together? I help groups to build that, bridge that gap, and build the cohesiveness we need in teams so that they can function well and achieve those goals they want to achieve.
Yeah, definitely. So when we come back, we're going to hear more from Bob Brumm. And he's going to talk about the positive perspective, things that he can do there, as well as a recap from all of our expert contributors here in the studio. We're going to give our top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid in our lightning round. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Real Estate Quarterback Show, Consumer Quarterback Show, and Platinum MVP Realty, a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. This segment is brought to you by Brace Accounting, the official accounting partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Big shout out to Ronald Brace over at Brace Accounting. He's actually an off-ice official for the last 24, 25 years with the Tampa Bay Lightning. So he goes into the games. He's only missed 3 or 4 games over that span of time. And, you know, who better to be up in the stats box than an accountant, right? So Tom Oleski and Ronald Brace over at Brace Accounting for all of your accounting needs here, conveniently located in Tampa. And a couple of hot listings for this segment, 8203 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. This is right next to the Alafaya River. It's 0.7 acres and over 30 parking spaces. Commercial opportunity just reduced down to $599,000. 8203 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. Currently operating as a restaurant who could stay as a tenant, or if you want to move your business there, you could move your business right there next to the Alafaya River. Great buying opportunity, as well as 8211 Brent Street number 838. This is a beautiful condo on the 8th floor, gorgeous water views, 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, $389,000 listed, and it's 1,692 square feet. You got your own boat dock there as well. 8211 Brent Street, number 838 in beautiful Tampa Bay.
No shoes, no shirt, and no problem.
All right. So the first segment we heard from Dustin Matthews. He's the founder of Speaking Empire. We also heard from Mark Spence. He's the VP of Integrity Financial Services, local lender here in Tampa Bay. Support your local companies, your local lenders. Drive right past those big box brands that took the bailout money and gave their CEOs the parachutes, the golden $1 million parachutes. And also now we're talking with Bob Brumm, the positive perspective. So, yeah, man, what else are you seeing out there, Bob?
Well, one of the other things we need to remember as individuals, too, is we all have strengths. The question is, what are those strengths? A lot of people say, well, I don't know what my strengths are, or maybe I'm good at this, or maybe I'm good at that. A quick recommendation on that, we've heard it probably before, StrengthsFinders 2.0 by Tom Rath. It gives you a good overview of some personal strengths you can do. It's not a heavy reading book at all by any means. Really, you don't read it. You go to the back, there's a card in it, you go online, you take a quiz, and it prompts you through, I think it's 120 questions. Each one has to be done within 20 seconds, and it moves on, and it gets your intrinsic mind values and your strengths. So it's not a fake strength finder. As I took mine, my strengths come out as futurist, an inspired person that's inspired by the future, opportunities. An arranger, I can organize, but I'm flexible. Focus, take direction, follow through, and make necessary corrections. Achiever, I have stamina and I work hard. And positivity, I'm contagiously enthusiastic. So, yeah, it gives you those breakdowns, and it gives you tasks or actions you can take to build those strengths, so that not only do you know what your strengths come out as, because these are innate to you,
right?
But how can you produce more with those strengths, and how can you show those more? So it gives you ideas, 5 different things in each strength of what you can do to enhance your strengths and make your best person come out.
Yeah, interesting. I want to get your perspective here. Do you, as a business owner or an entrepreneur, or even just an individual out there, do you want to focus on your strengths and try to really develop those strengths, or do you want to look at the weaknesses too and try to improve the weaknesses? What's your take on that?
Great question there, Brandon. A lot of times, and the normal is, okay, this person might not be that strong in this area. Let's get them training. Let's build them up on that. But do they really love that?
Exactly.
I mean, I can push a broom just as good as somebody, but do I love it? Is it something I want to do? Where's the value in that? So my opinion is focus on those strengths. What are those strengths? So if you're going to make the best person, why not fit them into something they love doing? Mm-hmm. They always say, do what you love. Well, there's a reason for that, because if you're doing what you love, there's not a day you're working.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going out there having fun. You're doing what you love. It's not a chore. It's not. You look forward to. You get up in the morning and look forward to doing that.
Right.
I love the idea of inspiration and encouragement. I jump up every day, and not only do I encourage myself, because there's days that it's going to be hard. There's days where it's not going to be so easy to do things. But I hear that alarm. Thank you. I've got another day. Yep. That's a first start. How do you wake up your day? How do you start your day? Are you looking at it in a positive manner that we can say, we have opportunities. We have the ability to do more. And that's a great start, good, optimistic way to start your day.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. The positive perspective, look at a man at what he could be, and he becomes more than what he could be.
Right.
Along those same lines of that quote, I forgot if that's William James or Bernard Shaw. But interesting quotes there, So Bob, when people want to engage you, what you're looking to speak to organizations and groups as well, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I speak to not only technical organizations, so I can bridge that gap and help the organizations talk and be a cohesive team, but I also talk to individuals on a personal coaching basis so that they can see the value of how they're growing and they can implement that in their life. That's important because, again, we're all people first. And if you build yourself in a great manner, you're going to have that solid foundation to move forward to do great things. And no matter what business you're in, whether it's if you're a waiter, you're going to be having a positive attitude. You got a spring in your step. That says volumes for the restaurant. That says this person I want to be around. The customers see that. When you have customers seeing that, they refer more people to come in, and it grows. And you see how that exponentially affects not only you but the surrounding people in your community.
That's right. Yeah, here's a quote from William James. The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind.
Great quote. It's a great quote.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, there's another piece to this, too, is because people say, well, this is all hard work. Yeah, it is. But that's what perseverance is.
Yes.
Perseverance is going after what you want and sticking to it, knowing that, you're going to have to dig a little bit. If the goal is worth the reward, be prepared to take the steps necessary to get there.
That's right.
We've got to be able to go after what we want. If we went to college and we wanted that degree, it was a pain. You had to take courses you didn't like.
Yep.
But you know what? That degree is what you wanted. You did what you needed to do to get through it. And it took time. It took hours of study. It took focus, effort. And that's what perseverance is to have that focused effort to do what you need to do and get it done the way you want it to get done.
That's right. Yeah, number one success principle, Napoleon Hill, is the power of self-discipline, the ability to make yourself do what you should do, whether you feel like it or not. That's the big thing. A lot of times our feelings get in the way, right, Bob?
Oh, they definitely do. We definitely do. That warm, cozy bed can feel real good in the morning, but what's the ultimate objective of that?
That's right. Rise and grind. Get to the gym. Get that workout going.
That's right. Get it going.
All right, we're jumping into our lightning round. All right, top consumer tips, top business owner tips, things to do, things to avoid. Dustin Matthews, you're up first, sir.
Well, my big thing is getting up early. So I have a question. I know this is lightning round. So I get up at 5 a.m. because I'm excited. I'm passionate. I also have a 2-year-old, and so I can get 2 hours in before he gets up.
Nice.
And so my big advice is you can do with less sleep. Those with kids know what I'm talking about. But even if you don't have kids, you can do with less sleep.
Yeah, that's right. I think
get up early.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has that famous quote. It's I've always heard there's 24 hours in a day. You sleep 8, you work the other 16. He says, yeah, but he said he sleeps 6, I believe, and then. So he gets into it. He says, yeah, all I can say is sleep faster.
It's smart. I mean, I was a 9-hour guy, and then I've drastically reduced that. And the thing is, when you're passionate about, to Bob's point, when you're passionate, you can just wake up and you can just go and have that energy.
Yeah.
And that's what I found.
Yeah. It's better to wake up in the morning and get it done. You're going to be clear. You're going to be programmed, that subconscious mind the night before. Problem is, too, what I used to do sometimes is I would stay up late working on my computer, and then I've got all that light coming into my eyes, and I couldn't sleep, and then I'm groggy the next day. So, yeah. Top consumer tips, Mark Spence, VP Integrity Financial Services.
I would just say if you're a borrower that's out there looking to purchase a home or refinance potentially a home, do it now and get out on the fence and figure out if you qualify. Don't wait until you're ready to, let's say, do the loan.
Right.
People don't realize how many little medical collections and things that just get hit on your credit without you even knowing, and then suddenly your score went from a 750 to a 650.
Yep.
It's a really terrible thing, but at the end of the day, it does happen. And just be aware of your situation before you're actually ready to pull the trigger.
That's right.
Start the process early, and I say early is 90 days to 6 months. There's no reason why you shouldn't evaluate your situation and say, hey, in the next 6 months, I'm going to buy something or I'm going to refinance. Okay, great. Your credit's good. Your income qualifies. You know what products are available. You know what the rates are at that time.
Yep.
It's just a great thing to do ahead of time. So like getting up early in the morning and starting your day early, it's get the process started early.
Yeah, absolutely, because identity theft is rampant right now. William Crowley,
really
a.k.a. the Credit Magician, can help you out there as well. Bob Brumm.
All right, Dustin, I appreciate your idea of getting up early at 5 o'clock, but you're slacking, okay? Where's 4:30? Okay, come on, buddy. Yeah, I've got 3 boys. They're older, but I've got an aging dog, so I've been up all hours of the night with that scenario. But, yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from with the little one. But that's the whole thing, and I'll reiterate it is we're people first, and we need to have that power of that knowledge. We can gain that knowledge through books. How many people have a library card? It's free. Okay? Get your knowledge. Go get that knowledge. It will make you a more valuable person. When you're a more valuable person, you're going to be better for our society. Our society becomes better. Our world becomes better. And that's what it's about, is gaining that knowledge so we can make our world a better place.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yep, absolutely. And final quote, George Bernard Shaw, people are blaming their circumstances. I don't believe in circumstances. The people that make it in this world are the people that look for the circumstances they want, and they can't find it. They go out and make them. So, some great quotes today. Great show. Thanks to everyone that's involved with the production of the show and all of our listeners out there. And I want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time.